Okay, class, welcome back. My math 120 or 116 class. Today we're going to go over cylinders in section 12.8. I've got the little diagram of a cylinder. So when you think of cylinder, think of maybe like a soda can or even like a can of vegetables. It's got a radius and a height. In the volume formula, is this right here? It's volume equals pi r squared times h. So what I'm going to do is if I give you my example number one, I give you the radius and the height, all you have to do is put in, say, 3.14 times radius, which is 2, and that's 2 centimeters. But then I'm going to square it. Then I'm going to multiply by 5 centimeters. Okay, so 2 squared is 4 times 5 is 20. So if you multiply all this across 20 and then times this by 3.14, what you come out to get is 62.8. And since I've got centimeters squared times another centimeter, so there's 3 centimeters, that's why it's centimeter cubed. Now my next example, I give you the volume and the height, and I'm going to ask you to find the radius. Well, the volume is 28.2.6 equals 3.14 times the radius squared times, in this case, we know the height, which is 10. So go ahead, and what I would do on the next step is take your 10 multiplied by 3.14, and you get 28.2.6 equals 31.4 times radius squared. Divide by 31.4 on both sides. And you should come up with radius squared equals 9. You take the square root. R equals 3, and our unit is feet. Okay, now once again, at any point in this video, you can please pause it, see how I'm working this out. You can always go back and review this as many times as you want. Now, what about if I give you the volume and the radius now, and you're trying to find the height? Well, it's the same setup. What you want to do is do 354 feet, or I'm sorry, inches. It'd be inches cubed equals, now this time you'd say 3.14 times 5 inches squared times the height. The 354 inches cubed equals, then what you need to do is you need to do 25 squared is 25. 25 times 3.14, and I get 78.5, and that's going to be inches squared times h. My final step is I'm going to divide by 78.5 on both sides. Inches cubed. I'm just demonstrating what happens when you divide perfectly. What happens is, if you got 2 inches into 3 inches, that gives you an inch, and then the 78.5 goes into 354, roughly 4.51. Now remember, they may ask you to round, so just be specifically and see what the directions say. Now finally I'm going to hit surface area. Okay, so you've got a lateral surface area and a surface area. Remember, the lateral area is the area around the can. So if you want to think about it, if you have a homework problem or even a test problem that deals with labels, think of it's the area that the label of the can is using. Now, here are the two formulas. 2 pi r times h, that's your lateral area, and then your surface area includes the base. So the base has, like I said before, it has the radius. So the base, you've got two of them. So it's basically you're saying circle area is pi r squared, and you got two of them. That's where we get the 2 pi r squared. So if I give you the radius to be 6 and the height to be 8, and I ask you, okay, what is the lateral surface area? And then I ask you, what is the total surface area? Well, if you use these formulas, the lateral surface area is 2 pi RH. So it's 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 8 feet. So if you multiply all of this out, you should get 301.44, and it's going to be feet squared. Then what I want to do is I want to take that answer. Now this is the 301.44 is your first part of your surface area formula. I'm going to say 301.44 plus 2 times 3.14 times radius, which is 6 squared. So the 301.44 plus, if I take 2 times 3.14 times 6 squared is 36. So if I multiply 2 times pi times 36, you should get 22.6.0, and you add these both together, and you should get 50 or 527.52, and your unit's going to be feet squared. That's the total surface area. Now, the only thing that they could trick you on this cylinder would be is if they gave you the diameter, then just remember diameter to find the radius, you just take half of the diameter. So for my class, we're going to be working on WebAssign homework number 9. So thank you for listening. And the next section I'm going to talk about is the section 12.9, and we're going to be dealing with pyramids and cones. Thank you for listening.